ProView 2-a-days continue here from Cibola High School. The Cougars had a beautiful quarterfinal run in the playoffs last year. Losing a lot of key specialty players, though, from last season have to be replaced this year. So we talked with head coach Rod Williams about that and some of his guys.
You know, this year we're working with a group that's a young group, and I say young meaning they haven't had a lot of varsity experience, but it's a group that's pretty gritty. They like to get after it. We got good team speed at every position, so it's something I think that's a little bit unique this year for us is that we're fast at every position. So we expect them just to go out there and compete every week and give it their all and see what happens at that point. Oh yeah, I mean every year this district is a tough district, and it seems like this year is no different. And it might even be better than last year. And we got some tremendous teams. You know, we have the state champion in there. Cleveland is the #1 team now, and they have a bunch of big kids and good athletes. And Volcano Vista returns a lot of players, and I think they're going to have a great year as well. So it's a tough district, and and then Santa Fe's in there, and I think down there, they're trying to get better. So it's a great district, and it's going to be a challenge every game, week in and week out. I think it's like with any coach. You're looking at your talent, your players, and you evaluate what you have and try to put them in the best position. So some things we do this year will have to be different than last year because I don't have the option with some of those, which some of those guys give you some of the options, and so we'll find a different way to be successful and put the guys in a spot that's going to make them where we can get the most out of their talent.
I think I've been training all season for this, and I think we're ready as long as we put the work in, and I think we'll be good. Yeah, it's a tough district, but we've been like putting in time against them, like watching film and just trying to do good. The 2 days have been really well, actually, because we've been putting in a lot of stuff. We've been working hard. The linemen's looking better. We're just doing good now.
The talent we have this year is on our team. They're doing pretty good. They're getting a lot of varsity experience now. They're doing really good at practice. They're giving us a good look out here. They're showing us that we're going to do pretty well in the season. Hardest district in the state. That's what I can say about this district. It's a good district. It's a competitive district. So we really got to shape up out here, be ready for them, and they're making us better too. They're pushing us to be better too. We've been working really hard out here. It's been really hype out here, getting work out here, doing a good job in the weight room, on the field, making sure we're doing the little things right out here, listening to the coach, doing what he says, having fun.
Well, the Cougars obviously with a very tough district. It's been noted, possibly the toughest district in the state with Cleveland High School, Volcano Vista in the top 5, and Rio Rancho the defending state champs. Santa Fe newcomers of the district on the outside. But the Cibola Cougars have their work cut out for them. They'll start their season opener against the Albuquerque High Bulldogs from Nusenda Stadium. Reporting from Cibola High School, I'm Adam Deal, ProView Networks.
Game was tied at 7s at one point, but the Cougars put the pedal to the metal in the second half. Check out Kazon Martin, because you won't see him for long. Is that Maverick from Top Gun turning on the Jets as he takes this one 50 yards for the touchdown. His team's loving it, and so are the fans as the Cougs take the 21-7 lead. Then in the fourth, Cougars keep applying the pressure as Martin gets another touchdown. This kid had 5 TDs in this one, as Cibola doesn't disappoint in week 1, winning 37-7. All right.
We wanted to come out and just make sure that the kids came together, played hard, played their hearts out. And we overcame adversity because they scored first, and I wanted to see how they reacted. We reacted well. I thought we really moved the ball well up and down the field. Our run game was really on point tonight. Kazi Martin ran his heart out, and up front, those guys were getting after it today.
First look at the Cibola Cougars. Meet Kazian Martin, junior out of Cibola High School. 5 touchdowns on the day, Saturday's MVP. Cibola bringing it all over the place. Albuquerque struggling on both sides of the football just before half. Quarterback Riley Padilla running for his life, trying to make something happen. Cibola goes in with a 13-7 lead at the break. However, Cibola is going to come out in the second half, continue to put it on. Kazian Martin continues to do work, coming right at the cameraman. Cibola moves to 1-0 on the season. The Cougars looking good today. Student Body Jack, we caught up with Kazian Martin after the game.
Feels pretty good. I had to step up a lot with Oscar Chapman leaving us this year, so I had to step up. I like the defensive end. Jeremiah Bell is leading them pretty good, and a lot of juniors stepping up on that role too.
First half belonged to the Vikings. Isaiah Chavez fires a rocket to the end zone, goes through the hands of Noah Santisteban right to Elijah Naranjo. Valley's up 14-0, but the Cougars shut out the Vikings in the second half. Jordan Bell with a huge hit, and the Cougars come from behind to win it, 15-14. Highlands.
We got a West Side story to talk about now. Cibola at Valley. Vikings up 14-0 to start the third. And then Cougars quarterback Gannon Chavez not ready for the ball, but Canyon Martin was 14-6 after the missed field goal, after the missed point after. Then fourth quarter score, 14-9, and Cougars still on the prowl. Gannon Chavez looks downfield and hits Cal Cowan, cutting it inside, making defenders miss, finally getting taken down after the huge gain. And what is this? We have more Cibola. Chavez on the run this time, still with the ball, lets it go across the field, hitting Christian Winters for the go-ahead score. And there, my friend, is the winner. 15-14, Cougars. Vikings still trying to do something. Isaiah Chavez trying to drive his team for the comeback, but not to be, because you just saw what happened. The INT, Cougars win it 15-14.
We've gone through a battle. It doesn't matter what team it is. Anytime you can come through like that and play hard like that and finish, it's a great thing. I'm proud of you guys. Let's go right now.
Cibola at La Cueva, homecoming for the Bears, trailing 6-0 to start the third, and Cibola once more. Gannon, Chavez to Jacob Smith, 13-0 after the PAT. La Cueva does get in the end zone before the game is over. Thomas Boy doing the
Homecoming night for La Cueva. Great night for them, but as for the football team, the Cougars came out strong. Already up 6, and Gannon Chavez, a.k.a. Cannon Chavez, hits Jacob Smith deep, and he gets in easy for the touch. Cougars now lead 13-0 after the PAT, and La Cueva would put up a fight in this homecoming matchup as Thomas Bowie gets the handoff and turns on the Jets for the touchdown. But in the end, my alma mater was just too much. Cibola goes on to win it 27-14, the final, and some other
quarter, all even at 7 until Kaide Jones gets to the end zone from 15 out. Monarchs on top 14-7. Still in the third though. Gannon Chavez with a dart to Christian Winters, and Winters is going the distance. This would tie it up. This one went to overtime. Cougars would take it in OT 27-20. LaQuay
gets the ball again, and this time Gannon says, "This is why I'm the cannon." To Jacob Smith, 20-yard gain, and they're driving. Sets up Chavez to Marion Malave, that is, in the end zone for the touchdown. Ties the game at 7. Score at the half with 7 all. Final, Cibola in overtime, 27-20.
Eyewitness Sports 4 presents your best source for high school sports. New Mexico Game Day, sponsored by McDonald's.
Good evening and welcome to New Mexico Game Day. Cibola football team. Oh yeah, Darren Russell will kick it off for us. Tell the viewers where we will begin.
Let's start off with number 1 versus number 2.
Cleveland and
El
Eldorado.
Dorado.
That's right, let's do it. Right now, Cibola football coach Rod Williams, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us tonight.
You guys are 5-1 on the season after last night's win. Do you think that 5-1 record surprised some people?
I think so. You know, in the off-season coming in, I think a lot of us were unsure of where we were, and, you know, we come in with a little bit of inexperience. But over time, you know, these guys have really fought and showed a lot of grit, and we are where we are now.
You got a lot of touchdowns yesterday against Highland. What did you like out of your team, and what are you still going to build on as you head into district?
Well, you know, I just like the fact that we came off of a difficult game and we're able to pull one out the week before. And sometimes those games can drain your energy, and the next week it's a little bit tougher to come out and have a good showing. And these guys really came out and did that and didn't allow a letdown.
Rio Rancho won state last year. Cleveland's the favorite this year. How difficult is that district that you're in? It's just punishing.
Yeah, you know what? There's just a lot of good teams, a lot of good players. You know, all the teams in the district are pretty good, and it's year in and year out, and it's really all the sports. So it's really a tough district.
We saw a little bit of video of Gannon Chavez, your quarterback, his first year as the varsity quarterback. What have you seen from him that you like?
You know, some of the things he's doing is he's really using his mind to make plays happen. He's actually extending plays, which I really like. And he's just grown week in and week out. And that's really what we expect of him, is to continue to get better each and every week. And he's starting to trust the receivers more, and they're trusting him as well.
I'd say so, with a 5-1 record. It's pretty nice. Stick around. We're going to talk some more football. Coming up after the break, Artesia and Las Cruces. Rod Williams. Now, you start district play next week against Volcano Vista, a program you used to work with. What's it like going up against your old school?
You know, what I can say is I learned a lot from working with those guys, and, you know, moved on to Cibola. And, you know, the first couple of years it was real intense, a lot of pressure. And, you know, this year it'll be a heated week and rivalry again. But you know, we're a little bit more used to it now, and we still talk to those guys. And so it'll be fun this next week.
Real quick, though, with a 5-1 record, do you feel good about your postseason chances at this point?
You know, anything can happen. You know, I like the way we started the first season. We're moving into the next season. Schedule gets a lot heavier, and so you know, I guess we couldn't ask for a better start on the first part, and we got to have a good showing in district.
All right. Well, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right. Earlier.
Hornets looking to get back to 500 on the year, but also get a second-year head coach Stacy Washington a birthday victory on Thursday night. Don't look good early as Kazion Martin gets the handoff, and Kazion pounces through the hole and gets the game-opening touchdown. Cibola goes up 7 after the PAT. Still in the first, Cibola forced Highland to a 3-and-out, and Gannon Chavez doing work. And yep, he gets the first down. 2 plays later, it's deja vu all over again. Kazion Martin from 5 yards out pounces through the hole and gets his second touchdown of the game. Cibola led 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. To the second now, Chavez drops back, dumps it off to Joaquin Candelaria, and he will not be stopped. Spinning, juking, making one final cut. He's in for the touchdown. 32 yards on the play. Get out of here. Cibola rolls through the Highland, 66-22 the final.
The Cibola High School football team has quietly put together a 4-1 season. Their only loss is against Clovis. The Cougars take on Highland this week. Quarterback Gannon Chavez threw for 4 touchdowns last Friday in an overtime win against Manzano. Chavez is a junior, and this is his first year as the varsity starting quarterback. Head coach Rod Williams says his QB is coming along nicely and getting better every week.
With him, I started thinking about, how do we score in that game? What do we do? And I said, we threw for 4 touchdowns. It seems like every game we're running the ball for touchdowns, and he's coming along.
It was pretty nice. It was the first time I've had a 4-touchdown game, and I just put enough trust in the receivers, and they came down with the ball.
There's some
Very impressive in last week's 7-7 tournament at Highland High School. In talking with head coach Rod Williams, it is clear that the Cougars have a summer game plan to make sure they're at the top of their game come the fall.
Typically, a lot of teams like to run the ball, and so getting out here and being able to throw it around a little bit and develop that part of your offense is nice. And then defensively, they get to see a lot of the passing attacks and just learn the coverages and get better at them.
of high school football teams continues, and tonight we look at the Cibola Cougars. Go! Cibola has been a playoff team each of the last 3 years. Now they hope to take the next step by going deeper into the postseason.
We want to make the playoffs. We want to compete in the district and be competitive every single year. And we'd love to come back again and make a push to go further.
Go! Gannon Chavez will start at quarterback. Kazi Martin returns after scoring 18 touchdowns last season.
He's a leader on the team. The kids respect him. He works hard in practice. He's had a great off season. I feel like he's gotten bigger, stronger, and faster. And he's hungry.
I got to get people up. Got to get them real hype and stuff like that during practice. And I gotta go hard. Make sure it's like how it is in a game.
The last 2 6A state champs came from Cibola's district. Getting over the hump is going to be difficult.
Since the alignment shift with the NMAA and how they shifted things, I feel like all the districts are tough. And we do have the last 2 state champions, and they'll continue to be powers up north here. But all the districts around the state are really tough.
Cibola kicks off the year with the first game of the season on Wednesday, August 24th against La Cueva.
The final total on the clock. Post it in the corner? Yeah, you said it.
Of high school football teams continues, and tonight we look at the Cibola Cougars. Go! Cibola has been a playoff team each of the last 3 years. Now they hope to take the next step by going deeper into the postseason.
We want to make the playoffs. We want to compete in the district and be competitive every single year. And we'd love to come back again and make a push to go further.
Go! Gannon Chavez will start at quarterback. Kazi Martin returns after scoring 18 touchdowns last season.
He's a leader on the team. The kids respect him. He works hard in practice. He's had a great off season. I feel like he's gotten bigger, stronger, and faster. And he's hungry.
I got to get people up. Got to get them real hype and stuff like that during practice. And I gotta go hard. Make sure it's like how it is in a game.
The last 2 6A state champs came from Cibola's district. Getting over the hump is going to be difficult.
Since the alignment shift with the NMAA and how they shifted things, I feel like all the districts are tough. And we do have the last 2 state champions, and they'll continue to be powers up north here. But all the districts around the state are really tough.
Cibola kicks off the year with the first game of the season on Wednesday, August 24th against La Cueva.
ProView Network 2-a-day coverage continues here from Cibola High School. A wealth of talent leading up into the sophomore and junior division, but not a lot of leaders returning. But one of them, Kazi Martin, one of the best running backs in the state, is poised to have a big season. Coach Rod Williams talked about that and second-year starting quarterback Gannon Chavez and their upcoming season here in one of the toughest districts in the state, District 1.
I'd like to do way better than what I did last year, but I mean it's just a stepping stone of what I can do. I think I'm coming good, coming playing well together. Defense is really stepping up. A lot of juniors stepping up on both sides of the ball. Offense is looking good too. Well, you always got to be like someone that you can rely on. You got to get everybody right and stuff like that. I mean, we got to come out and go hard that first game. We got to show people what we can do that game.
I think we've been working pretty hard this offseason in the weight room, on the field. We've been becoming closer as a family and a brotherhood. We're pretty excited. We heard that they've changed up some things, so we're excited to see what they got for us. Last year was a great game against them. They got a great program down there, and we're just excited to play them week 1. Our sophomore year, we all played JV together, and then junior year, he broke out, had a great season. Knowing that he's one of the best in the state just gives us a relief on our backs every week.
I expect for this team to be good. I expect a good season. We have a good line, we have good receivers, and a good running back this year. I think we'll have a breakout season this year. I'm very confident with my team. We're working hard, and we're putting in the work to beat the Bears the first week. Yeah, I'm very excited for that. It's an opportunity to play them again. Last year was a great game, and I think I can't wait to see our new talent that we have with the juniors and sophomores we have this year.
The whole season matters. I mean, every single game is important because of the seeding selection. You got to win those games, and a lot of times it comes down to point differentials and just the way you play. A lot of people are impressed by what you do or do not do. So you got to make an impression every week and just come out hard, and every game's got to be, that's what you got to focus on, and it all helps you to get into the playoffs. I like this team in the fact that we bring and present a lot of experience on the field. Not a lot of standout superstar guys, but a lot of tough players, good players that can shine, and we want everybody to have their moments. And but that's the type of group we are. We're a lot closer, a tight-knit group that's just full of solid players, and that's where we are this season. Kazi Martin, he's one of our leaders for sure. He had a good season last year. He's a solid back. He's real smooth, has great vision. He's gotten bigger and stronger and faster, and his vision looks good and his cuts. And he's just continuing to improve, and he's really stepped up as a leader in his leadership role in the classroom and out of the classroom on the field. Last year I was real impressed with him that not only did he have a good junior season, but he had a much better academic year for him, and I was really proud of him because he's worked hard in there.
Now you heard it. It's a big game. The La Cueva Bears to start the entire high school football season off. The very first game from Newsenda Community Stadium be on a Wednesday night, August 24th. Of course, we're going to have it right here on ProView Networks. Reporting from Cibola High School, I'm Adam Deal with ProView.
Night lights a little early this week.
On Wednesday night, that's right, and this was a really good opening game. La Cueva and Cibola starting the high school football season in Game 1 of the East-West kickoff clash. Bears strike first on their first possession. Chris Campbell connects with Kevin Finelli. 2 TDs for Finelli tonight, 7-0 La Cueva at that point. Cougars would respond. Cibola's Gannon Chavez scrambling, connects with Joaquin Espetia Candelaria. This was back and forth all night. Chavez threw for 3 scores and rushed one in. Campbell threw for 2 and ran one in himself. La Cueva wins the season opener 31-26. And believe it or not, it's the
point box. You have number 2, my alma mater, doing me proud on this play. Look at the scramble from Gannon Chavez, and we call Gannon the cannon for a reason. He shoots the gun here, hits his man upfield, and he gone. Joaquin Candle, 45 yards to the house. Go Cougars. And
double rainbow. Winless Cibola Cougars facing a 2-1 Sandia Matador squad. First quarter, Cibola driving. Gannon Chavez calling his own number to get the Cougars deep in Matador's territory. 7-minute drive capped off by a field goal. Cougars would go up 3-0 early. Then it would be the Matadors answering back. Quarterback Jacob Archibald, the pitch to Kade Jones, and he goes 16 yards for the score. PAT is good, 7-3 Sandia. Less than a minute and a half, and the Matadors strike again. Jones is in from short yardage, and he's injured on the play. He would need crutches to get off the field. The pain probably greater now because Cibola would come from behind to win this one. 17-14 is the final.
Sports 4 presents your best source for high school sports. New Mexico Game Day, sponsored by McDonald's.
All right, good evening and welcome to New Mexico Game Day. It's another full night of high school football, and our guest in studio tonight, a large group, the Cibola football team. Seth Pearson will kick off the show with the introduction to our first highlights of the night. Take it away.
Tonight, we'll start with Rio Rancho taking on Sandia.
Yes, I love that. Talk some football with my guest in studio, Cibola football coach Rod Williams. Thanks for joining us. Why don't you do the introductions? Who do you got alongside you? A couple future Cibola stars.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us tonight. This is my son Braylon Williams, and this is Darian Williams.
A couple good-looking guys, along with their teams, good-looking as well.
Absolutely.
They picked up the victory last night. What did you like about your team's performance on Thursday?
Oh, you know what? They're flying around. They're hustling. They didn't let the elements distract them, and they just pulled together and had a good week of practice, and it really showed during the week as well or for the game.
Man, it seems like things are really coming along because after a slow start to the season, you guys have put together a couple wins. Are things starting to click for this team?
Yeah, I think it really is. The guys are close, and anytime you start where you have a little bit of adversity, you can get guys to splinter or separate, and sometimes even a coaching staff can, but they really have stayed together and bought into the philosophy. And we preach the word Kaizen consistently, which is a Japanese word for continuous improvement. And so we're trying to get a little better each week, and they're really doing that.
Gosh, you got to teach your guys a foreign language too at practice. Is that it?
Not a little bit. They really just buy into what we're doing, and they're a great team and a bunch of great guys.
Now you head into district play, and you got a killer district with Cleveland, Rio Rancho, now Piedra Vista, Volcano Vista, putting up big numbers. How are you going to, make your way through all that?
Yeah, we're going to preach the same philosophy. We're going to try to get a little better each week, and the district really is tough. But all the districts are tough, and every game for everybody is going to be challenging. And I think if we just come together and continue to improve and practice during the week and get a little better each week, these guys can compete on the football field.
All right, we're going to talk some more football, so stick around. We still have more football to get to from up north and down south. But first, take a look at some... Coach Rod Williams. Now, Cibola soccer coach Cameron Clark is recovering from a spinal injury he suffered over the summer. What's it been like on your side of the fence, really hitting home, and the support that the whole Cibola community has given his coach?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the Cibola community, it's just awesome to watch. Anytime something happens to one of ours in the community, you see the whole community step up. And we've had a carnival they had on a Saturday where there's lots of people out there. They've had a fun run. A lot of different things, really just supporting him and his family, and they've raised a lot of money to help him in this situation. And he's a great guy. He's done a lot for Cibola, and he's very ingrained in the whole culture there. And he's my colleague as a fellow PE teacher. And so we wish the best for him, and I know he's making slow improvement. And it's just been good to see the reaction from the community and the whole school.
And we're all pulling for Cameron Clark. Good thoughts. That's going to do it for another edition of New Mexico Game Day. Keep it here for all your high school sports action. As always, folks, have a good one. And this is Piedra Vista taking on Cibola. That is scoreless in the third. Gannon Chavez to Javier Lopez, who takes it in. And then more Cibola. Chavez hands it off to Kazian Martin. Cibola over PV on the road, 21-0.